Welcome back, everyone. We are going to be talking about spacing. Spacing is something very important for characters like Magneto, Emma Frost, Groot relies on spacing, Penny relies on spacing, Dino relies on spacing, Deadpool relies on spacing. Almost every character relies on spacing in some sort of fashion. The characters that generally are trying to push you and push into your space, that's going to be called a threat range. So when we're talking about threat range, we're talking about which characters can get close enough to you to do damage. There's characters like Cap or Hulk where their spacing is based on how they jump or how they move. So from this point here, do your max jump and let's see how far you go. That is his threat range, right? So if I'm going against the Hulk and he keeps jumping over me and into my team, right, then that probably isn't a good idea to stand here. So go ahead and jump when you need to. You see, then we have to like turn around, you have to look, you have to do all that, right? But imagine if we played space into his threat range. Okay, now try again. And you're fighting, he hops in, boom, you go for your play. And now obviously this is a very like generic example, but I'm telling you, if you think about it that way in terms of what characters can move where, it's gonna help you out a lot. And let's just say your team is right there and you know your backline is there and that's pretty much where Hulk is gonna jump to. Why would you try to hold here, right? You would back yourself up, in turn, they would back your teammate up. You know where Hulk is. This means he has to jump over you into your team. But because they backed up, because you backed up, he can't do that. And so he would then go to reposition elsewhere. Maybe he'll go over there, maybe he'll go over there. But basically, you're making it so this guy just can't jump over you. This is how you deal with characters like Cap. This is how you deal with characters like Hulk. You have to understand that distance from which they can create that threat. If you understand that, you can outspace them. And if you can outspace them, they don't really know how to play the game anymore. They have to go through a lot of effort. And just like you did with the Hulk, I just want you to dash from there to wherever it lets you go to. So just do your circle dash.
Wow, fancy seeing you here.
Okay, so it's that far, right? Now, from there, do your shield dash from there forward. Right. Now, do your flight and do it again and slam. That's what you got a space for. So, you have to understand that Rogue, most divers, she's a brawler, but she's a diver. Most divers have a specific rotation they need to get in, especially if their cooldowns are very high. So this means that you need to force them to use something just to get in range to be a threat. Then that means they only have a limited amount of abilities to deal with after that, right? That's resource trading. If they have to use a resource and you don't have to use any, you're already ahead of the game. So let's just say I know she's gonna do that, right? She's in range. Go ahead and do your dash, right? I'm chilling. I'm laser gun. She's in range. I back up, right? We continue to back up. We back up some more. We back up some more. That means the only thing she has left is that somersault kick, bro. If she does that, she's cooked. She has nothing else left. But because you spaced her out, she's unable to do anything to you or anything to your team. Remember, the tank is the one that's driving the bus. There's, depending on what rank, maybe, there's not a lot of players that are gonna sit and see their tank back up, especially if it's a Mag or an Emma, and they're just gonna sit there and not move. If you move back, they move back, but it's up to you to understand the threat range of these characters. Now, it might not be just the tanks you have to worry about, right? It could be Magic, Black Panther, all those things. You can't really worry about everything. You got to pick and choose which threat you're dealing with. If you're getting run over by the Thing, or you're getting run over by Hulk, you're getting run over by Rogue, well, that's your 1v1. You got to play to that and do your best. It will all fall into place once you do that. Because once they commit, then you can grab them. Or after they're done, you can go ahead and fight whoever you're fighting near you because they already expended all their abilities. But the spacing is very, very important. Let's just say whatever, you caught me, you get dash in, right? You're doing your thing. And then I go diamond and I try to do all that, right? And we fight and whatever. All that for what? Mind you, there's 5 other players on each side fighting. Remember this, you're maybe the Deadpool, or not the Deadpool, I'm sorry. Maybe your Black Panther's getting dove, or is diving. Your strategist, right? Maybe your Magic is 1v1 in there, whatever. They're doing stuff. And that's the fight you decide to take without knowing what's happening behind you, what's happening around you. And you take that fight when you need resources because you didn't space properly. You got caught, you're forced to fight, you're running away. And the higher you get, the more that is problematic because you'll get KO'd instantly and now you're down a tank. How you avoid this is by that spacing. So do that same thing again. Again, don't really worry about how your combo works. Just kind of like button mash, I don't care. And I'm gonna outspace you, and you're gonna see the difference.
When mutants are in danger, the White Queen answers.
Right? You see how much more of a problem that becomes for Rogue because we're backing into our team. Your teammates will be on the right, the left, right? We'll be playing together. You're doing all of that spacing, right? And you can even go one step further. So we'll do it again. We'll do it again, one step further. Just to show you what it really would look like. Should you be, we'll do it with Mag this time just to kind of showcase what Mag looks like. Because I know people do play Mag and a lot of people play Emma all the time. So we'll use Mag as another example as well. So, right, go, back up, right? And they're still trying to fight. Right, you're still doing your thing. Look how far we pulled her. Versus if we were doing the same thing again, so go back. If you KO me, it's whatever, I don't really care. Versus let's just say we're holding, we're whatever, and we're fighting, right? And we do this. And we try to fight her up close. We try to like circle around, we try to do all this extra stuff to fight her. Right? And you're wiggling, and you just get KO'd.
It seems we have company.
The best way to space a character like this, if it's a diver, whatever, a Thor, it does not matter, Hulk, you gotta pull them into an area where they are not safe. So, not only are you spacing them, you're spacing them and you're pulling them into a really bad situation that they don't really notice that they're getting pulled into. So try again. So yeah, you're chasing me, I'm still spacing you. Okay, you do all that. Eventually, they realize they're behind the wall, right? At that point, they're really cooked. You have to learn how to not only look at the threat distance of which the character's abilities are, how far they go, where they jump to, and things like that, but you also have to pay attention to where you're pulling them when you are pulling them and kiting them backwards. It's not enough to just kite backwards, but you also have to make sure that you are healthy. So we're gonna do it again, one more time, because I wanna show you what it looks like when you do it properly and they leave. So use your abilities as you would, and when you feel like you should turn around and bail, all right? We're gonna use Emma this time though, because I think Emma's just better at giving you the visualized capture of it than he would be. So you fight, and when you feel like you're not safe anymore, you leave. Right? As soon as they leave, you then go back. Right? And then do it again whenever you're ready. I'm not warmed up. Leave me alone. Do it again whenever you're ready. Now who's caught out? Right? Gonna be her. Right? And you continue to play, and she's cooked because she can't go anywhere. What does she do? You spaced her out so far that she expended everything. And now you capitalize on the fact that she ran out of steam. This is how, before all these characters came out, it was really just Thor. That dude was a menace. And that was one of the characters you had to learn how to space out. My God, that was such a hard thing to do for me. Maybe for everybody else, maybe they're better than I am. But it was very hard for me to learn how to space against that character because that character was a freaking nuisance. But once I learned to do it, it became very easy to make sure that I can get out of him. I let him do it. Go ahead, Thor. Because Thor has a fixed distance when he dashes, right? He either has this, right? Or he's gonna kind of like charge a little bit, and he's gonna go a little bit further. If you know this, if you're playing against him, you can kind of understand, if you do it enough, you can kind of understand which one he's going to use, and you can outspace that. So when he decides to do it, you know to be a little bit further, you know where he's gonna stand, and you're here. He has two options: try to chase you again, or he's gonna probably just try to run away and do his thing, right? Back in the day, Thor was really strong, and he could run you down. And so I understood this. And the best way to deal with it is, again, when he starts doing that, he's chasing you. You got to pull him into some really crazy location. And now he's not safe anymore. And then he's going to try to run away. But if you're playing something like Magneto, and then run away when you feel like you can't get these more. See? And then after he's low, he's going to start running away. Right? And that is when you kind of get this guy out the back foot. And should he get healed, whatever, you space him back again and you let him burn steam. This is what kiting is. We keep them at a distance. Keep at a distance. You never want this guy to actually get close to you. But you have to play the push and pull method so smooth with him. Nowadays, it's not as bad. He's not really that much of an issue as he was before. But that's the mindset you got to get into. You have to know how far can you get, or how close do you need to be to do damage to me or my team. And if you're dealing with multiple divers, if you're dealing with multiple brawlers, if you're dealing with multiple characters that just run your team down, you do have to understand that distance between not just that one character, but maybe the other one, maybe the other one. You know, maybe it's Thing, maybe it's Hulk, whatever. And you can't make plays because should they hop over you, what do? Now you're stuck in, right? You got to make sure that they're so far spaced back that if Hulk jumps in, if Cap jumps in, everything is kind of near your model. So you want to make sure that when they jump, right, you're spaced out so far that you maybe once you jump, you could back up midair and you see where he landed. Your team should be safe. If he decides to jump again, that guy's trolling because, like, bruh, you're about to get lit up. He's gonna then jump away. So jump back. You should jump back to your team, or not to your team, but jump back to that line. So we fight him. He jumps back, right, and we push forward. We push forward. We push forward. When he gets healed up, you know he's gonna do it again. He's gonna jump back again. So jump back. And as soon as you back up again, we just can't let this guy get past us. Same thing for Cap, Rogue, Thing. When you guys start letting these characters get up in your face, especially when you're not playing a character that likes that gameplay, when you start letting these characters jump over or get behind you, or like when they start doing that, that's when they have the power. This is why it's important for the tank to learn how to check these characters by having great spacing. So, I mean, it was a kind of, maybe it was a kind of a little bit long of a recording than I wanted it to be, but I really wanted you guys to understand that spacing. When it comes to DPS and when it comes to strategists, you guys also have spacing, but it's not to the extent that the tanks need to do it. It's more about kind of just where you're standing and why. And I have a lot of other videos like that on my channel already, so you guys can just search that and you guys will find that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys learned something. If you guys had any questions, let me know. I will answer them in the comments below. We were just doing our VOD reviews on Saturday and I was going to explain this, so I thought to make a video out of it so that way you guys can see it as well. Till next time, you know what I always say. Thank you guys for doing what? Popping often. And thank you again, Lauren, for helping me out with Lofton.